win their second straight Stanley Cup.
Let's get this over with. So, as you can see, what's good, everybody? Let's talk some Tampa sports. Game's over. 6-3, Lightning lose. And for the second year in a row, the Lightning are eliminated by the Florida Panthers. And for the third year in a row, the Lightning have been eliminated in the first round of the NHL playoffs after making the Stanley Cup final 3 years in a row prior to that. I'm just starting off with this. Lightning fans, do not make us look like a fool. Don't make us look dumb. We did not lose this series because of controversial calls or penalties or big hits or shoulda, coulda, wouldas. That's not why we lost this series. We lost this series because we weren't good enough. Simple as that. That power play, not good enough. Your defensive structure in your own end, not good enough. Giveaways, too many. That's why we lost this series. And also, the Florida Panthers are a gauntlet and right now are the better team. Clearly, 2 years in a row have knocked us out in 5 games. They're the better team. There's nothing wrong with honesty, ladies and gentlemen. The quicker you accept it, the quicker you can self-reflect and figure out how we have to get better. And what's crazy about that is I think this team is better than last year's team. Certainly better than last year's team was in the regular season. I mean, this is the top goal-scoring team in the league. Gave up the 4th or 5th least amount of goals. They're top 6 in both penalty kill and power play. Like, this team was fantastic during the regular season and looked ready to go for the playoffs. And you get another wake-up call. You get another wake-up call now going to the offseason. Hey, you're not good enough. And by the way, you're not even close to being good enough. 5 games again. Do I think this team could have beat the Canadiens, the Senators, the Devils, probably the Hurricanes? I'll say Capitals and Leafs might be shaky. Yeah. But that's just, you got to play who you draw. And we drew the Florida Panthers again. And unfortunately, I do think if things are different in terms of the bracket, this could end up being an Eastern Conference final. I do think this is a good Lightning team. And I do think people will overreact that we have been knocked out of the first round again 3 years in a row. And we got beat by this Florida Panthers team again. I think you guys have to understand how good this Florida Panthers team is, how physical this Florida Panthers team is, and how well built this team is for the playoffs. Like, they are built for this. They're built for this. And it's very obvious. This was the first time, Game 5 is where we're at. This was the first game that was played the Lightning style of hockey. Up and down the ice, open chances on both sides, goalies having to make big saves on both ends. And we still lost. So if that doesn't tell you anything, games 1 through 4, all close, defensively structured games where, you know, you really had to fight and claw for those opportunities to come your way. And this was the first one that was our style, and we still lost. That should tell you something. It just has to be better. And it's just, right now, this team is not at that level yet. It's not Stanley Cup contender level. As confident as I was going into the playoffs, at least more confident than I was last year, I mean, it's a wake-up call for me too. Like I said, I thought this team looked really good, ready to go for the playoffs. 5-on-5 looked good. Power play looked good. But once it comes to playoff time, and you go up against a team like this that knows how to neutralize Kucherov, knows how to neutralize Braden Point, and just make things compact for a team that is super fast, super skilled, it kind of just, what are you going to do? So I'll pull up my screen here. Like I said, this was the first game that was this open, more fitting to the Lightning style of play. 31 shots to 29. And it's just, once again, you still lose. You still lose. What were we? 2-2 2-16 on the power play during this series. That's a guess off the top of my head. And 14 power plays in a row that we didn't have a goal. It's just, you can't win like that in the playoffs. You can't win like that, especially when games like this against the Florida Panthers, like I said, are so difficult to find opportunities against this team to get open chances on net, open chances on Bob. If that's what you're doing on your power play, you're not going to win the series against a team like this. And I called it before the series even started. I said there's no team that plays Kucherov better than the Florida Panthers, and that, once again, played out. And with all of the attention on Kucherov and his goal-scoring drought in the playoffs, I mean, Braden Point, outside of tonight, I think he did look better tonight. I didn't see him much in the first 4 games. Most of the big dogs, I did not see much from them. Outside of Jake Gensel, Hedman looked pretty good tonight. Vasi came up with some big saves, but just the defense, it leaves them out to dry way, way, way too often. I just want to make this video and get it, uploaded and over with so I can go to bed and go on with the rest of my week. But if I had the time to collect all of the screenshots of Panthers goals, it's just anyone putting any blame on Vasilevsky, like, what are you watching? Because I'm not watching the same thing as you. I'm just not. I'm trying to think of the first 3 goals tonight. Everything's just a wash in my head. The Verhaeghe goal, I mean, it's just a nice power play goal with a rebound there. What are you going to do? The Lundell goal, left open in front of Vasilevsky. He's kind of just able to deflect that in. And then the Sam Bennett goal, just a terrible, terrible lack of awareness. You don't score on a power play, and then Sam Bennett comes out of the box, and while we're on a change, why are we changing while their man is coming out of the box on a fast break? Like, it's just things like that. Like, you can't win a playoff series that way. You can't. And there's so many goals to think back on where dudes are just left wide open in front of Vasilevsky. I remember a Kachuk goal just wide open in front of Vasilevsky. Everyone just crashing to one side of the ice and the middle of the ice being wide open just multiple times. And it's just playoffs. That's the level of defense we're bringing. That's the level of defense we're going to provide Vasilevsky, who had a hell of a season and is a Vezina finalist. Like, so it is what it is. Once again, video of self-reflection. Need to look at how to get better, how to build better depth on that 3rd and 4th line. I honestly do love what I saw from that Gonsalves, Paul, and Geeky line. I thought they brought a ton of energy tonight, but you need more depth. I mean, you look at their team, there's scoring just coming from all over the place. And defensively, it needs to find a way to be more sound. There cannot be that many wide open people all over the ice game after game after game. I'd say game 2 was probably the best defensive performance. Game 2 or game 3. And game 2, we still lost. So it's just, oh, man. Power play, you got to figure that out. Or you have to be able to make some type of in-series adjustment. Because obviously the players, you have the skill to do it. You have to find a way to move things around, move Kucherov around, and find a way to get it clicking, because it's one of the best power plays in the league. It's not like it just dissipates once the date hits April. I mean, like, it's not how that works. Plenty to talk about, but I'm going to stop rambling. As for the Florida Panthers, like I said, they're just a better team. And for Florida Panthers fans that end up watching this, I will say I rooted for you guys last year. Yeah, we're rivals, but you guys didn't have a Stanley Cup. So I'm just like, okay, it's fine. They can get one, and then we can all laugh together at all of the original 6 teams and all of Canada and all of the Northerners just seething that we've made the Stanley Cup final 5 years in a row, and you guys won a Stanley Cup. We won 2 in those 5 years. Like, it was all a good laugh. But this year, I don't think I can do it. And that's not because of the hits, the controversial calls, the scrums. It's not because of none of that. If I'm being brutally honest, it's out of respect. You guys got your 1 Stanley Cup. We have 3. I don't want y'all to get 2. I don't want y'all to be 1 Stanley Cup behind us. So it's out of respect. You guys were kind of in that dormant just space for so long. And whether you guys want to admit it or not, I've seen Panthers fans in my comments admit to it. Losing to the Lightning in 6, and then the following year winning the President's Trophy and getting swept by the Lightning, and then making it to the Stanley Cup Final, and then losing in the Stanley Cup Final. That's what I'm talking about. Self-reflection. You lose, you find a way to get better. You guys won the President's Trophy. You lose, you're like, well, it was good enough for the regular season, but clearly not for the playoffs. You adjust, make it to the Stanley Cup Final. You make some more adjustments. You win the Stanley Cup Final. It's something the Lightning need to figure out. Yes, they went 3 years in a row. 3 years ago now at this point. They have to take last year's loss, this year's loss, adjust, and find a way to make that jump. But yes, not rooting for you guys. Sorry, not sorry. It is out of respect because you guys have certainly upped this a notch. You have certainly upped this rivalry a notch. Certainly a competitive rivalry at this point. Despite it being 3-1, this is an extremely competitive rivalry, and it's great for the state of hockey in Florida. It's great for the growth of hockey in Florida. And I can't wait to continue to see this rivalry grow and continue to see, I was going to say like respect from around the country, respect from like Canada, but honestly, I don't care. I don't care if we're respected by them, because even if we were at that same passion, that same knowledge that they are, they still wouldn't admit to it. Just because it's untraditional for them. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know what I'm saying. Lightning fans, you know what I'm saying. Panthers fans, you know what I'm saying. We don't need the respect. It is what it is. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please leave your comments down below. If you asked me to recite anything that I told you in this video, I don't think I could. I feel like I just turned this mic and camera on and rambled for 14 minutes. Hopefully it's somewhat entertaining for you guys. So, Panthers fans, good luck, but not too much. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please leave your comments down below. I think I already said that. Like I said, I'm just rambling, and it sucks. But this is part of being a fan. I don't regret any of the money I spent on all of the tickets, all of the merchandise, all of the hours upon hours upon hours upon hours of watching 82 plus 5, 87 hockey games. Like, it's part of being a fan, and that's why when you win it, it feels that damn good. Go Bolts. Y'all have a blessed one.